Jagrata, Jai Masters. Let's talk about something that is a very, very major part of the human experience. It has a lot to do with spirituality, but not the way most people think. And that is emotions. First of all, what are emotions? You can name them. I think that's adorable. There's jealousy, there's fear, there's anxiety, there's anger, there's love, there's emotions. We know the names. If you were asked what are they, eventually you get down to the fact that you say they're feelings. They're not thoughts. Thoughts are thoughts. Thoughts are things that go on in your mind. They either talk, I don't know if I like that, maybe I shouldn't do that, or they visualize. You can see things. That is the function of your mind. It can express thoughts, and it can express visualizations. You can see a boat in your mind. You can see a car in your mind. You can see someone's face in your mind. You don't have to talk about it. You can see it. Those are the power of thoughts, the power of mind. Those are not emotions. Very often, almost always, thoughts will go along with emotions. They stimulate each other. But emotions are not things that talk to you in your head, and they're not visualizations that you have. They are feelings. In fact, we interchange the words. Your feelings and your emotions. Why are they called feelings? I don't feel them. I don't touch them. I can feel you. I can feel heat. I can feel cold. That's not what we're talking about. That's outside. Inside, there's consciousness. Inside, you are conscious. You're aware. Otherwise, you don't know if you have emotions or not. Do you know you have emotions? You know you have emotions because you're conscious. That's the beginning of all discussions that are spiritual and otherwise. You're in there. I forgot to ask you, are you in there? Okay, I thought so. You're in there, and you're conscious. Okay? One of the things you're conscious of are these things called feelings. Why? Because you feel them. Not with your hands, not with your senses. What they are is energy. They're patterns of energy. Just like the light spectrum goes from, infrared to ultraviolet, whatever it is. You have this spectrum of vibrations. That's what emotions are, vibrations that you feel. They can feel good, they can feel bad. They can feel gentle, they can feel strong. They're feelings, they're vibrations. You can feel music. If somebody plays music quietly and softly, you feel that vibration. If they play it loud, acid rock and stuff, you feel that vibration. Okay? So that's what it means inside. There are vibrations. There are frequencies of energy that you experience as emotions. If you want to give names to them, I think that's hilarious. I think it's like standing on the beach and watching a wave come in that's small. That's Sam. Larger. That's Alice. Larger. There's Beatrice. Right? I mean, why are you naming the waves? They're going to come and they're going to go. And sometimes they're similar to each other. Why do you have to name them? I don't understand. But that's all they are. You gave names. Anger, fear, love, jealousy, insecurity. Okay? So if I feel it, I'm going to name it. That's what it boils down to. If I have a feeling, I'm going to name that feeling. Why do we do that? Because we believe, and we're pretty much right, that if I say it's anger, you know what I mean. Because you have feelings like my feelings. Wow, far out. Okay? That's kind of human stuff. And if I say anger, you don't really know what I mean. You think you do because you named your stuff anger. If you've never felt really, really rage, strong anger, you can sit there and say, I don't know what you said. It made me angry. Right? Or somebody sitting there saying, I'll kill you. Okay. Right? Which one's anger? It's up to you. It's like any other word. It's just a label, a collection of letters that you put on something that you're experiencing, something that you see or so on. You don't know we all mean the same thing by blue. I know we don't. Okay? I tell someone, oh, it's blue. And she's very color conscious. She says, no, it's turquoise. It's the same thing with feelings. How you like that? I love you. I love you. I really do. I love you. And I walk up to somebody else. I love you. Or somebody, I love you. Well, then you don't love me. That's not what I mean by when you tell me I love you. You don't go tell everybody else, right? There's something more serious about I love you. I just feel so much love for you. Okay, let's get married. No, I got to talk to the other person. It's just a vibration, a feeling inside of you. That's what an emotion is. Do they come and go? Do they sometimes come? God, let's talk about emotions. Have you ever had an emotion that you felt start and then not come up? Just come up a little bit and then go back down. Yes or no? You ever have an emotion come up and you're watching it and next thing you know, you're gone. You're not even there anymore. And you come back to, whoa, and there's pots and pans and broken plates all over the place. And did I do that? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay? We experience these things as waves of energy, wavelets of energy. Just like an ocean, just like that, or frequencies of a vibrational sine wave or other type of waves, right? They come up, and sometimes they go back down, sometimes they're stronger, and they have the ability, let's talk about that, to come up so strong that you get lost in them. That they're like you're watching the wave, and then the wave comes over your head and you start drowning. Have you ever had an emotion come up and take over? What does that mean? It took over. Took over what? Let's talk honest. It took over your consciousness. It overwhelmed so strong that all of your consciousness got pulled into it and it wasn't centered anymore. Let's give meaning to these terms. What does it mean centered? There is a place that you normally, your consciousness, normally sits inside. From that place, you notice your thoughts. From that place, you feel your emotions. From that place, you notice there's a world coming in. You're seated somewhere, okay? But you're not always seated there. Sometimes, let's talk positive for a moment. Sometimes you turn the corner and there's this unbelievable sunset taking place. All the colors, oh my God. And you say, it blew me away. Was it a bomb? No, it blew me away. I was sitting somewhere inside and I went somewhere else. Okay? You say it was like, I felt like I was in the presence of God. Your consciousness got risen up to a whole nother level. Yes or no? Can it do that? Can love do that? Can you hug somebody? You're gone, bye-bye. I always tell you guys, if you're really, really having an intimate moment, your eyes are not open. Why? You don't like the person? You want to see him? I can't stand looking at you. No, it's because the energy is so beautiful inside that it draws your consciousness into it. And therefore your consciousness can't pay attention to anything except for the beauty of that energy that's flowing inside. Fair enough? So a sunset can do that. Music can do that. So you have a center of consciousness which you're used to sitting in. That's your normal seat of consciousness. Okay, not to call it good or bad, but from that seat, I watch my normal thoughts. I don't know if I like this, maybe a little bit. Should I stay? I'm going to go. Oh my God, I remember last year, I wish I hadn't done that. And they said, yak. And they're kind of your normal little yak going on in there. Okay, everybody's is different. And you have a normal set of, you always have emotions. You say, I got emotional. You're always emotional. You're always feeling some emotions. They're just not strong enough to stand out. You feel a little love, you feel a little fear. You always feel a little fear, don't you? Come on. Always. There's just this little bit of fear down there, and you know it's down there, and you kind of try and stay away from it. You sit in a seat, and you experience what it's like to be in there. And sometimes things happen, either extremely positive or extremely negative, strong up or strong down, that you're not sitting in that seat anymore. Are you? They blow you away. That's what it means. It blew me away. It took over me. I couldn't do anything about it. I just felt so much fear. I just ran away. I didn't care what happened. I know I left my kid, and I just couldn't. I lost it. But what's the it? It blew me away. It's your seat of consciousness. It's where you're used to sitting. It can an emotion pull you out of that seat? Thank you. Okay? How can it do that? Because you're not used to such a strong vibration. You haven't been trained or experienced enough in your life to be able to realize, yes, sometimes the emotions can get that strong. And it comes up, and the next thing you know, you're not there. You're in it. It overwhelms you. You know, oh, it's so beautiful. I like talking about this. You know how important this is? This is spirituality. Because as long as that's going on, you're not going anywhere. Well, you are going somewhere. You're going there. You understand that? And if you can't handle your emotions, oh, that's a nice word. What does that mean, handle your emotions? Can you handle your liquor? Can you handle that your girlfriend held hands with somebody else for more than 3 seconds? Can you handle things? What does that mean? It means, can you stay centered? And I'm not using centered in a spiritual term. Oh, he's such a centered being. Just saying centered in your normal seat of consciousness, to where you're still there, you have will, you can make decisions, hello, hi, okay? You're still present, all right? Things can happen in which you're not present. Why? Because you couldn't handle them. I'm married, I have 5 children, I've been married for 10 years, and I started taking tennis lessons, and oh my God, my heart burst open. I didn't want to go home. I'm overwhelmed with love and attraction. Yes or no? Can it happen? It can overcome you. All right? Why? I can say overcome you. I can say lost it. I want to say you can't handle it. Is the problem that the emotion took place, or is the problem that you can't handle it? Shh. Pay attention. Those are two totally different things. Why? God, that's exactly what I want to talk to you. What's different about that? If the problem is that the emotion took place, you're going to have to adjust your life so it doesn't take place. I now need to manipulate my life. I need to manipulate people, places, things, finances, every single thing, weather in my life, so it does not create emotions inside of me that I can't handle. Can you relate to that? Have you ever done that? Okay. I can't believe you did that, right? I can't be with you anymore. I can't believe you did that. What did I do? You ate all the peas. I like peas. You should have left some for me. And what it basically boils down to is something happened outside, and an emotion, an energy pattern came up. And let's call it for now an energy pattern. That way you don't relate to it as you relate to it. I want you to relate to it the way it is. An energy pattern. Fair enough? A type of energy came up of a certain strength and a certain vibration got created inside of me. That's far out. You have a vibration creating machine inside? Yeah, it's called your heart. Is it not true that your emotions come from your heart? They teach that, and it's true. Okay, there happens to be, don't use the word, a chakra there, an energy center there, and the energy comes out from that center. It's not the same center as your mind. That's different. Different things come out of your mind. Thoughts come out of your mind. Emotions come out of your heart. How many of you, if I said, where do you feel love, would point to your head? Okay, no, you go, here. That's right. That's where you feel love. That's where your emotions come from. So what happens is an event happens outside. I don't care what it is. You're all different. An event happens outside, and it causes one of these energy vibrations to shift inside of you. Is the problem that happened, so now I have to create a life in which that does not happen, right? Or it does happen. It created this vibration. I really, really liked it. So I'm going to go be with this person. I'm going to go change jobs. I'm going to go do something. I have to do something because I like that vibration. How do I create that vibration? Or how do I get you to behave in a way that it creates that vibration inside of me? Is that not what a relationship is? Okay? I love being around you. Some nice words. What does that mean? It means in your presence, a vibration gets created inside of me that I really find pleasant. Therefore, don't talk to anybody else. You're mine. You belong to me. Okay? When I get married, I mean, you just stay there and you keep creating the vibration. Well, what happens if we get married and I'm there and I don't create that vibration in you anymore? Well, guess we're done. Or maybe we'll stay together for the kids. Or maybe the thought said, well, I'm only alive for a certain period of time. I have the right to feel those beautiful vibrations that I felt before, and I don't feel them with him or her anymore. Right? So what's wrong with it? Does it not think like that? Answer me. Don't look at the person next to you. All right? Now, I'm talking about what it's like to live in there with emotions. So there are ones that come up because of certain circumstances, and you like them. And there are ones that come up because of certain circumstances, and you don't like them. And guess what? There are ones that all right, this is important. There are ones that circumstances in your past have happened that caused things to come up that were very, very not pleasant. And you didn't like them at all. So you don't ever want to have those circumstances happen again. So now we're manipulating our life, not even what's happening now, but based upon a samskara, call it samskara, a pattern that you couldn't handle in the past, so you stored it inside of you as a negative. I don't like this kind of person. I don't want to do this. I don't want that to happen. You hear me? And now you run around and try to make sure that situations don't happen outside that cause that to come back up. Can you have a thought that makes an emotion come back up? Can you think about what mommy did, what daddy did, what George did, what the ex-husband did? Can you just have a thought and this emotion comes back up that was so unpleasant from before, and the exact one comes back up? So you don't even need an outside situation, do you? Okay? We're talking about emotions. All right. Then get used to it, man. They run your life. So is the problem that the emotion happened? Or is the problem that you couldn't handle it? That is the difference between a worldly life and a spiritual life. A worldly life doesn't mean you have material things. A worldly life, you think the solution to your problem is in the world. I get scared, so don't do it. I need to make sure things don't happen out there that make me feel fear. I have a tendency toward anger. I told you not to do that. When you do that, it makes me feel anger. I now need to manipulate the world because I can't handle what comes up inside of me. That's a worldly life. Notice, don't use worldly negative. It merely means the solution to my problem is out there. What's your problem? I can't handle my emotions. I can't handle my thoughts. I can't handle my emotions. Say with emotions. I can't handle certain emotions. All right? And I like other ones. So how do I get the ones I like? Outside. Don't I? How do I make sure I don't get the ones I don't like? Outside. I'm out there manipulating everybody and everything at all times. Now let's talk about thoughts for a moment. Do you ever have thoughts about how to make the world the way you want it? Do you ever have thoughts about how to avoid what you don't want? Especially when you're lying in bed and can't fall asleep. See what's happening? So your question is that the way to go about? You have these emotions. There's no question about it, right? And some of them you can't handle. So is the way to go about it to go outside, become intelligent, plot, plan, think, do every single thing you can, use anything you can, your good looks, a gun, anything you can to make sure that things happen the way you like them and make sure they don't happen the way you don't like them. There, I've handled my emotions. You have not handled your emotions. You've manipulated and suppressed the world so it doesn't do the emotions that you can't handle. That's one way to live. There's a totally different way to live, and I don't know why they don't teach it. The problem wasn't the emotion. The problem is not the emotion. You have lots of emotions. A mosquito flies by. It comes up and flies by. Right? You can handle the emotion. You're driving down the street. The driver behind you is driving a little too close. And it feels yucky. But you handle it. You handle it. I'm able to handle it. It's raining out, and you want to go camping. I hope you can handle it, okay? Because you can't manipulate the rain. So you just say, all right, it's a feeling of disappointment. You have those? Can you handle it? A little bit. Just a little bit. Can you handle it? There are emotions you can handle. There are vibrations that come up that you don't have difficulty handling. I don't have to manipulate the world, okay? Hey, I don't know where the level I can talk about where you'll agree you can handle it. A friend walks by. Hey, Sally, how you doing? And she doesn't turn around and say hello and doesn't acknowledge that you're there. Can you handle that? Right? I hope so, because otherwise you're in big trouble. You got to go run after Sally or never talk to her again. Or you hear me? That's a perfect example. That might be on the edge. Somebody may not be able to handle that. What does it mean I couldn't handle it? It's not over. It happened. The emotion came up. Did it happen? An event happened. Did you say hello and she didn't say hello? Yes. Did an emotion come up of rejection, of hurt, of feeling uncomfortable? Some people, I hope it's you, feel it and say, oh, okay, what was I doing? And go about their business. Just like if somebody doesn't use their blinker. Just like if someone, just like if it's raining when you don't want it to. It's like you just handle it. I don't know what to tell you. What does it mean to handle it? The vibration, handling it means push it away so you don't have to experience it? No, that's not handling it. That's suppressing it. Do you know what happens when you push it away because you can't handle it? It stays. You do know that, don't you? It absolutely stays and will come back up regularly in your life and haunt you like a ghost. Why? You didn't let it go. It's energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Einstein and all the scientists understand energy is neither created nor destroyed. That stuff inside of you is energy. It's just inner energy. And if you sit there and push it away, it stays inside. And it will come back up and you push it away again. Can it be there for 20 minutes? can be there for 20 years. Does psychology all about that? If you were able to handle it, are they out of business? Isn't that what Freud talked about with suppression? He talked mostly about thoughts and so on, but you're suppressing your emotions. If you can't handle the energy, you push it away. If you push it away, it stays, and it comes back up. Okay? So let's say you say hello, Sally, and it goes there and it just passes through. I told you. I love the teaching of Ramakrishna. I love Ramakrishna. That there are beings, all right, what is an enlightened being? They can handle everything. Does that mean they don't have emotions? No, it means they can handle their emotions. There's a difference. They once asked Ramakrishna, fully enlightened, very high being, totally intoxicated with God at all times, period, right? And they asked him, does an enlightened being ever feel anger? Guess what he said? Yes. But it's like riding on water. What's it like when you ride on water? Nothing. What's the difference? It doesn't stay. That's what it means. I handled it. It came in. I didn't touch it. It passed right through. Did I feel it? Yes. Was it there? Yes. Do we all have different things that stimulate different emotions? Yes. We can talk about why in a moment. But the question isn't that. The question is not, did something happen that caused an emotion, caused an energy vibration? The question is, can you handle it? So that's really beautiful to know that it's not true that you're not supposed to have it. It's a natural thing. It's a part of the human. Part of your evolution. You came up from an amoeba, and they had feelings too. Well, if you poke a sharp object, an amoeba, it pulls back. Why? It didn't like it. Uncomfortable. So somebody says something you don't like, you pull back. Right or wrong. Right? It's just all part of the package. Okay? You got a body, you got a heart with emotions, you got a mind that creates thoughts. Fine. That's not the problem. That's not even any part of the problem. The problem is, can you handle it? Because if you can't handle it, it will run your life. If you can handle it, you're free. You stay centered. You stay clear. You can make decisions based on things other than, I can't handle it. I'm telling you right now, if you can't handle it, the rest of your life's about that. So it's not the event, and it's not the vibration that got created inside. By the way, the event did not create the vibration. He could have an event that caused him to feel good. The same event made you feel terrible. The event is just an event. That's the Zen. Water's blue, flowers are red, grass is green. That's what a great master teaches you in Zen. Flowers are red, water's blue, grass is green. There, you have all the teachings. You do, you have all the teachings. In other words, things are what they are. What the hell are you making a thing out of them? I don't want the grass to be green, I want it to be blue. All right? It's like, it's not the event. The event is just something that happens in the world. It's just a bunch of atoms passing around. It's the fact that you have built up this ego, this self-concept of what you like, what you don't like, and how it's supposed to be and how it's not supposed to be. You got trained based on your past experience, right? Why do you get turned on by one thing, you get turned off by... Yet tomorrow, the same thing that turns on today will turn off tomorrow. It could. Same thing that turns you on 30 seconds ago could turn you off 30 seconds later. Why? Because, as psychology says, your psyche, which includes your emotions, I call the psyche the combination of your thoughts and your emotions, your psyche is the sum of your learned experiences. You've heard that before. They say you are the sum of your learned experience. You are not. You are the consciousness that is noticing that your psyche is the sum of your learned experiences. So if I had experiences before, my parents were neurotic about being high-classed or something, right? And all the silverware had to be in the right order. Small spoon, big spoon, soup spoon first. You know what I'm talking about, okay? And I go to a restaurant, and I'm on a date with you, and you're that kind of person also. And you take me to a restaurant, and they're in the wrong order. I've had it with you, that's it. What comes up is everything mommy laid on my head, right or wrong. You listening to me? She didn't have any problem with it, nor does anybody else, but you do. Because you're the sum of your learned experiences. Your emotions are the sum of your learned experiences. So that's a problem. Because then it becomes, I can't handle certain emotions, so therefore I'm not going to that restaurant again. I'm not going to talk to Sally. Next time, after Sally didn't say hello, if you can't handle the feeling that came up inside of you because Sally didn't say hello, next time you see Sally, you will walk the other way because you don't have to deal with her because you don't want that emotion coming back up. Or you will confront her. What's wrong with you? What did I do? Why didn't you say hello? The other day you walked right by, right? Wow. We're talking about real time here, where the rubber hits the road. That's what spirituality is. So it's not that Sally did or didn't do anything. Turns out she had, earbuds on. She didn't hear a single word you said. Or she was lost in thought about who didn't say hello to her. So it's not about the event that took place outside. It's about the emotion or the energy pattern that it created inside, which is unique to you and right? You had different experiences. It's going to create different things, right or wrong. Okay? And when I say right or wrong, you're not right. People sit there telling you, oh no, I'm right. Blue is a really nice color. It makes everyone feel really good. You want to bet? If your blanket was blue and they took it away too soon, you hate blue. These are patterns that are learned, culturally learned, individually learned, whatever it is. So you're not right. So you stop that right off the bat. You just understand an event, that's how a yogi is. An event took place outside. Did it cause a change in the energy inside of me? Yes. Very good. Can you handle it? That's what it comes down to. If you could handle it, Sally didn't say hello. Next time you see Sally, you're friends again. Why do I care when you say hello? It's none of my business. I couldn't care less. If I can handle the emotion that came up inside of me. If I can't handle the emotion that came up inside of me, I really do care why she didn't say hello, don't I? All right. So the question is, worldly life means I can't handle the emotion, either because, by the way, can't handle is not just negative. I'm going to teach you deep yoga here. There's positive and negative samskaras. What are samskaras? Things you store inside that run your life. What's a positive samskara? Something happened that made you feel really, really good. Here, go to that restaurant again. And last time you went there, they served a special. A certain chef was there, they served a special. You took all your friends to the restaurant, again, this time, and you look, and that's not the special. How you doing? I'm scared. I'm a little anxious. Maybe it won't be good, and I took them all here. Look at that. So you stored a positive experience, and you want it to happen again, don't you? You want the exact same thing to happen again, right? You judge everything based on that. That's how positive experiences screw you up, all right? And negative experiences screw you up. The problem that's screwing you up is not the experience, it's the fact that you couldn't handle it. So what's the alternative? Is it possible that you can learn to handle things? Can you handle reality? Or do you have to fight and struggle and change everything and get weird? So what does it mean to handle it? It means I notice now I can't handle that Sally didn't say hello. And that makes me sensitive. You know what? Not only am I sensitive now the next time I see Sally, God, you listen to me and don't blush. Do blush. I want to see you blush, right? But since that happened, it was so uncomfortable, I don't say hello to George when I see him. Because he might not say hello, and I can't handle it. It's certainly not two in the same day. Have you done it? Okay. So it's not about that. It's about, okay, the problem is not that somebody didn't say hello. The problem is not the emotion or vibration that came up accordingly because of my trained experiences. The problem is I couldn't handle it. If I could handle it, then I'm like Ramakrishna. Sally doesn't say hello. I feel some rejection, but it's like riding on water. I did not feel it. I'm not denying reality. I'm not denying outside. I'm not denying inside. I'm just able to handle it. So it comes up, I feel it, then I go about my business. How could you go about your business? Because I could handle it. Like, I'll give you an extreme example, which it just blows my mind. Go to the positive side. Ever watch the Olympics? Ever watch the gymnasts on the horse or this or that? Spent their entire life learning that sequence and get up there and slip a little and get as if it never happened. That's 4 years of 15 hours a day in all your life since you're 3 years old. And here it is at the pinnacle. And you go and you don't hit the landing. You slip a little bit. And they just keep going, don't they? They don't cry. They don't get off. They don't quit, right? They just, wow. They are taught to handle it. They have to handle it, don't they? They have to handle it, okay? So it's really beautiful. In other words, you can learn to handle things. Did you know that? It's just the way I am. I like that one. It's just the way I am. I've always been that way. My mother was that way too. I bet she was. Okay? So you get down to, let's get to a real talk. Can you learn to handle your emotions? Not can you learn to make the world not cause them. You all know suppression doesn't work. Suppression doesn't work. You suppress things, it rots down there, it gets really weird and so on. This is a form of outer suppression. If you can't handle it inside, so you would suppress it inside, I'm going to suppress that person out there so they don't say what makes it feel it. Do you see that? It's the same thing as suppression. You're not waiting to have to suppress it inside. I'm going to stop it before it happens outside. That's pushing energy outside. It has the same effect. The same effect. If I say to you, don't you dare behave like that. You know I don't like that. And you have something inside you. I'm not even doing anything. I just happen to smile at the wrong time. I don't know. All right? Now you're neurotic. I made you neurotic when you're around me. That's the same thing as if I pushed it down inside of me. Now I'm neurotic. It's a form of outer suppression. So basically, it's all about, can you handle it? It's all about, can you handle it? It is not about trying to manipulate the world so it doesn't cause an energy pattern to happen. And it's not about, controlling the energy pattern. It's not. It's about learning to handle the energies that naturally come up inside of you. But what if they're unnatural? What if the energy came up inside of me is, I don't want to tell anybody. You got those too, don't you? If you can handle it, it goes right through. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a cloud passing through. It's just a wavelet in the ocean. It just comes in and goes. Don't be ashamed and don't be scared and don't think you're terrible. You're not terrible. You know when you're terrible? When you can't handle the emotion and you suppress it and it causes you to do really weird stuff. It's an energy pattern. If you store the energy inside, it is not going to sit quietly. And next thing you know, you blow your lid because I've handled it for years, all right? Well, how come then when I said something, you got weird? Because that energy needs to express itself. It needs to release. And it gets weird down there. What if you sat there and said, it's okay that I had that emotion. It's okay that this took place. If I can handle it. If I can handle that it's writing on water, what do I care what you wrote on water? Did you write a swear word? Did you write something I don't want? I don't know. I don't care. It's not there anymore. But if it got carved inside of me and I have to live with it the rest of my life. So all of spirituality is about waking up and realizing it's about working on yourself. Remember, I quote Rumi, one of Rumi's poems. Yesterday I was clever, so I was trying to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. Spirituality is not about the outside world. But what if terrible things are happening out there? Can you handle it? No, but they're really terrible. They're really terrible. Can you handle it? Well, that's not the question. Yes, it is. Because if you can't handle it, you're going to be terrible. If you can't handle it, you're going to perpetrate what everybody's doing because they can't handle what's happening to them. Why can't there be peace? Because people can't handle themselves. If people can handle themselves, there's peace. Why? Because there's peace inside. If there's peace inside, there's peace outside. If there's turmoil inside because I can't handle things and I'm freaking out and you're doing things that bother me, there's not going to be peace. In me, in my household, in my community, in my etc. So it is all about handling it. It's all about handling it. Well, I don't want to handle it if he can't. That's ridiculous. I don't want to feel peace and love if you don't. No, it's not like that. It's like, if you can't handle it, how do you expect everybody else to? You're more evolved. You're out here. You're interested in growing. You're interested in spiritual life. And not everybody is. And so if you can't handle something, what somebody said or somebody did, or somebody's anger or somebody's thought patterns and so on, if you can't handle that, how do you expect them to? So you're not setting a pattern. You're not setting an example of anything. It all comes down to learning to be able to handle reality. Learning to be able to handle reality. And emotions are part of reality. It is not like you're not supposed to have them, but you're supposed to be able to handle them. The trouble is you're so far from being able to handle them that you think you're not supposed to have them. And since you do, you try to make everybody else not make them come up. Have I got it clear? All right. You're not going to go anywhere that way. You can suppress and hold it together and make it look like you're spiritual, but that's not spiritual. If you're spiritual, there's no struggle inside, period. Under any conditions, ever, nothing, just like Christ. Forgive them. They know not what they're doing. Right? Don't defend me. Leave it alone. I can handle anything. Lord, may I pass this cup? Oh, I like that one. Christ was a great yogi. May I pass this cup in the garden, right? He looked at what was going to happen to him. Didn't look really good. That doesn't look like something I could handle. May I pass this cup? Do I have to go through what that's going to cause inside of me, or may I pass this cup? And the moment he said, may I pass this cup? I love Christ a lot. When I was Jewish yogi, I love Christ. The moment he said, may I pass this cup, what did he say? I'm sorry, no, not my will, but thy will. In other words, I can handle it. And he did, didn't he? I can handle it. I can handle it. Well, what about when he said, why hast thou forsaken me? Oh, that is the most spiritual of all things, he said. In other words, it's not that I'm not feeling this. I am feeling this. It's not that there are emotions coming up in here, kind of on the edge of what I can handle. Oh, that's great. And the moment he said that, he just let go. In other words, it is about handling things, not about not having them happen. And again, handling doesn't mean pushing it away. Like, at first you think that. I feel jealous. I always feel jealous. And I can ruin all my relationships, right? So I'm feeling jealous, but I can handle it. I can handle it. I just, God, help me. What? Help me push it away. Right or wrong? Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's better than expressing your weirdness. Okay? It's bad enough as going on inside. So basically, you get to the point where you realize you have to learn to handle any vibration, any. Ooh, I love you so much. I want that you learn to handle anything that can come up inside of you. If it's capable of existing, it's capable of existing. That's not the question. Can you handle it? Okay? And the answer is yes, you can, but you haven't learned. If you never touched the piano in your life, can you sit down and play Beethoven and Mozart and Tchaikovsky? No. Well, can you learn? It doesn't mean you're a concert pianist, but of course you can learn. How? By playing the scales. That's how you learn, isn't it? I don't want to play the scales, then I can play the piano. You have to practice. Well, what about sport? Okay, you good at tennis? No. You ever picked up a racket before? No. Okay, go play the Williams sisters in doubles. They're 2 and you're 1. Or Borg or any of these guys. Basically, I've never picked up a tennis racket. I don't know how to play. I guess I'm not good at it because I can't play those guys. No, you get a ball thrower or a coach, and they hit it at different angles, right? Well, wait a minute. I got a coach, and he said I'm very good with forehand. Oh, I feel really proud. I never picked up. Oh, look at that. I'm good at forehand. All right? So why does he keep hitting my backhand? He knows I'm not good at it. What kind of coach is that? He's fired. He should be hitting my forehand, right? Because I'm good at it. Is that right or wrong? No, you should be hitting the backhand. All right. Life is your coach. Life is your teacher. Life is your guru. Life is your path. Life is everything. Why? Because events are going to unfold in front of you that cause these vibrations to come up. And you get to find out if you can handle them or not. Life is my teacher. Life is the classroom. Of what? Can I handle it? Events are going to happen that I have some trouble with. And so I'm going to use it with this. I will teach you. I'm very compassionate. You start with the small stuff. Please, I beg you. Don't sit there and try to handle what you can't handle, because you can't handle it. It's not even healthy. Start right on the edge of the things you can handle. Can you handle that it's raining out and you have to get out of the car and you have papers to carry somewhere? Oh, I'm not so sure. Right? I call it low-hanging fruit. You just start with this simple stuff that there's some level you can handle the thing. It was raining and you had to get out, but it stopped, but there was still a little sprinkling that got on your clothes. Can you handle it? Yeah, I can handle that. Okay, do. Handle that. Let it be like riding on water. Here it is, it rained, it sprinkled, clothes are a little bit wet, just little dots, right? Okay, he wants to say something about it. He wants to feel, because you do. You know what I'm talking about. When I do this, you know what I'm talking about, don't I? Right? You don't even know what it is. It's just like uncomfortable, yes or no. That's a vibration. That's an emotion. It just hasn't fully matured. It's a wavelet starting to come up in the ocean. How do I handle it? Notice it and relax. Notice it right in the beginning when it first starts. Don't try to check it out. Oh, I wonder how big this is going to get. No, just the minute it starts, notice it and relax. What does that mean? Oh, people say, no, I tried to make it relax. It wouldn't relax. Of course it wouldn't relax. It has its own energy. Everything has its own nature. Its nature was this weird vibration. I didn't ask it to relax. I didn't ask you to change its nature. I asked you, who's experiencing it, to relax in its presence. You relax. Relaxation is the opposite of resistance. Resistance requires tension, requires force, requires will, force. Resistance requires outward will, an outward exertion of will. You have to push. Relaxation is the opposite. Relaxation is you don't resist it. You don't put out that. Well, what do? You relax. Well, what will happen? It will be like riding on water. You'll pass right through. Why? There's nothing solid in there. There's no super glue in there. There's no concrete in there. There's nothing solid inside except your will. And if you use your will to push it away, it feels pretty solid, doesn't it? It's like right on concrete because you stopped it. The Hoover Dam is stopping the Colorado River. When? Always, every second, every millisecond. What happens if a little crack happens? The water goes through as fast as it can. All right? In other words, you stored energy inside. It's always going to try and release. But you didn't use a dam, you used your will. Don't you use your will to push things away inside. Do you have hands in there that can do things? All right, relax them. You see people, if you're having trouble, sit on your hands inside. Let it go. Let go, relax, release, all the same thing. What does letting go mean? Don't resist. Let it go. Let it be riding on water. But start with small stuff. You're not going to be able to do it and you'll quit. Just start with these little things that you don't even realize you're resisting. This little, he didn't use his blinker. Or, maybe being late does it to you. Maybe catching every red light on your way to town does it to you. Does to me. Excuse me. Are you listening to me? There's little stuff in there that gets you going, doesn't it? Those are the ones I want you to work with. Why? Because you're able to, right? So what do? I start feeling this thing, right? And then I relax. So I don't resist it. Well, what will happen? None of your business. You did your job. You didn't resist it. Well, how long will it last? It's none of your business. The point is you didn't resist it. So whatever energy was down there has the right to release however it needs to. Well, will it come back? None of your business. You did not resist it. If you don't resist it, there's a natural process that will take place. Ever get bacteria or viruses inside your blood system? And there's this thing called, what's it called? Oh, an immune system. I remember that's what it's called, right? What do you do to make it happen? Nothing. It happens by itself, doesn't it? The body knows how to purify itself, doesn't it? Up to a point, it knows how to purify itself. So does your heart. Your heart knows how to purify itself. It doesn't want all that junk in there. It wants to be free, doesn't it? It wants to be open. It wants to feel love, passion, excitement, enthusiasm. That's your natural state of your heart. But you shoved all this junk down there that you couldn't handle. So now it's all blocked. And that's what makes the emotions weirder, by the way. They hit rocks in there and they get all weird, strong, okay? Otherwise, they pass through. They're nice. They pass through. So relax. Just relax and let it take care of itself. Purification is a natural process. Just like purification of your body is a natural process, purification of your heart and of your mind. The reason the mind is so weird, the heart is so weird, because you shoved all this junk down there. And now it's all hitting everything, and the energy is not free. The energy is not free. So it hits everything in there, and it comes flying up and causes all this stuff to come back up that bothered you before, etc. That's not natural. Natural is a natural flow that just passes through it. You get to feel all kinds of things. But what if somebody dies? Am I supposed to feel anything? I never ever said you're not supposed to feel anything. Did I? There's a natural vibration, energy inside that will come along because you love the person and they die, or you knew the person at least. You don't do much about people you don't know. You've got this thing and it comes in and it starts to come up. Let it. Oh, it's just sad. Sad is part of it. What's wrong with that? Should I get into it? People ask me all the time, does that mean I should get into it and really be sad and focus on it? Of course not. That's just reinforcing it. That's just giving it more energy. Your consciousness is energy, Shakti. So you're feeding it energy. And so the highest state is, it's happening, I'm experiencing it, and it's beautiful. What is sadness is beautiful. Feeling of loss is beautiful. It's a vibration. It's a beautiful vibration. That's when you're getting somewhere. If it can come up inside of me and it's pure, meaning it's not just hitting past stuff, you will reach a point where the past stuff, enough of it is gone to where things come through. They're beautiful. You hear a bird sing, it blows you away. You hear a vibration of music, a note, it blows you away. Somebody says something you don't like. I told you this great saint, Yoga Shakti, she gave us the Durga statue back in the 70s. She once turned to me, very, very, very pure lady. She never talked about personal anything, but we were very close. She shocked me. She once turned to me and says, Mickey? I said, yes, mother. She says, Don't you just love when they yell at you? There's so much energy. What is that telling you? It passed through. It created a vibration that got her high. Is that what it does to you when they yell at you? And the answer is, of course not. Why? You defend yourself. You can't handle the vibration that came up. What if they yelled at you in a language you don't know about? Oh, who cares? So if you can handle it, it comes in and it's got juice. All right? The whole world's full of juice, but you can't handle it. Okay? So it comes in, and I start with the small stuff. Please, I beg you. You think it doesn't matter. It matters. Learn how to let go. Learn how to handle your emotions. That's what you're learning. How to handle every energy pattern that can come up inside of you. And if you can handle little ones, you're going to find out very naturally. It's not a struggle. It's not a struggle, right? You just relax. It's the opposite of a struggle. It's a relaxation. Don't think of sadhana or spiritual. Oh, I got to get tense and do all these practices, right? Just relax. Let go. Let go. Then something bigger is going to happen. Really? Yeah, like your new car will get a scratch. The red lights, I could handle the scratch, not so much. So basically, you learn to handle the next thing. And you do it the same way. It's always the same way. But what technique? No, it's always the same technique. Relax and release. Relax and let it pass. Relax and release. All right? Then something bigger happens. Then something else happens. And it works so well that stuff that you stored down there before, that you shouldn't have, that was ridiculous, but you did, starts coming up by itself. Why? Because you're not pushing stuff on top of it. In inventory control, we call it a LIFO stack. Last in, first out. The last one you push down is the first one coming back up, right? The old stuff stays down there. When you stop putting stuff down there, the old stuff comes up. And guess what? It's not a problem, because you learned how to handle that vibration. So you welcome it. That's how you should be with those vibrations. Come on up, it's time for a party. You know how you are, ultimately? You're not afraid of your emotions. You're apologetic. You look at it and say, I am so sorry I shoved you down there. I wish I could have been as evolved as I am now. I would never have done that to you. I shoved this crap down into my heart, and I wonder why my heart's so sensitive and so weird. You are welcome to come up. Come on up. Welcome. We'll have a party. I love you. I love you. But what if a really stronger vibration comes up that's a little bit harder? All right? Are you ready? Sure. All right? Once you start seeing what it feels like to live inside, when you don't have that junk stored in there, so you're feeling a lot of energy come up inside, all right? And then you're not afraid of the world. I'm not afraid of relationships. Why? Because I can handle what happens if they don't do well. I can handle somebody not saying hello. I can handle somebody holding hands with somebody else. It doesn't mean I'm doing something about it, but I don't react and do that about it. I never, ever take my stuff and shove it out into the world. I do my best to handle it. If I can't handle it, that means I didn't handle it. I lost it. And okay, that's where karma comes from. It's not a punishment. I couldn't handle that, so it's got to come back. Stay behind second grade, you do second grade again. I don't want you to look at karma as a punishment or something to be afraid of. If you can't handle energy and you shove it out there, believe me, it's going to come back because you weren't able to handle it. So you just little by little, every moment, it's not like just your meditations, every moment of your life you get to deal with this stuff. And eventually you get to the point where stuff can come up and you can handle it. And eventually you get to the point where stuff will come up and you like that it's coming up. Well, she left you. I thought you loved her. I loved her with all my heart. But she left with your best friend. Didn't it hurt? It killed me. It just killed me. It tore my heart to pieces. How'd you do with that? Really well. Really well. You know what Ramdas used to say? I used it to go to God. That's what he meant by that. You use it to raise yourself. You don't want that stuff in there. That doesn't mean it's not there, but you welcome it and you go through it. And eventually what happens is a word in yoga called transmutation of energy. The wave that starts weird, if you relax and welcome it, rises to a higher center. It doesn't go out through that center of fear or this or that. You don't have to make it. You don't have to force your chakras to open. Oh my God. You notice I never use the words, all right? You're going to find out that if you relax, it won't push it out through that center. You won't push it down, and it won't push it out. You gave it a pathway to go up, and it will go up. And what starts as, I can't believe you said that, comes up as, I understand, right? Probably if I went through what you went through, I probably would have said it too. And you feel compassion. Buddha said the highest emotion is compassion. Why? It came all the way up. It came up. It didn't hit your stuff. You know what I mean? Sympathy is it hit my stuff. I can relate to you. Compassion is not sympathy. Compassion is it made it through me all the way up into my heart, and I understand where you're coming from because I went through there myself. I grew past that. I'm able to handle energy at that level, but I can't expect you to. I don't expect anybody. I don't expect anything of anybody because you know how hard it is. when you really grow very, very deep, you don't judge anymore. Judging is gone because you understand why everybody's doing. Do we now understand why everybody does what they do? Do you understand why everybody did to you what they did to you that didn't feel good? They couldn't handle themselves, and they pushed it out on top of you, or did something to try and do better for themselves. That's how everybody is. But you don't have to be that way. Now you understand what spirituality is. Okay? So there's a worldly life, and I made that much broader than you think it is. That's the life that says I need to manipulate the world to be okay. And then there's, I don't need to manipulate the world to be okay. It's my teacher. And I can learn to handle everything that comes up inside of me. I can learn to handle my emotions. And you're going to find out when you can do that, that they naturally push your stuff that you stored from before and start pushing it out of your heart. Right? But get ready for that. I'm sorry. At first it's really nice feelings, then it's your stuff comes up. That's what's supposed to happen. People say that I used to, when I started studying and reading your book, I felt so high, I felt so good and so on. I don't know what I did wrong, right? It's like, oh my God, I feel I'm on fire. I'm good. Thank you. That's wonderful. That means it's working. You need to cleanse this stuff. The question is, are you willing to relax and release as the stuff comes up? So I always end my talks this way. What if you did? What if you actually tried to handle to the best all you can do is the best you best. All you can do is your best to handle every single thing that happened in front of you, and you open and you relax. The old stuff's going to start to come up. Okay, fine. What if I can handle that? Eventually, you'll sit in a spot in your heart where it's white hot. In other words, the really big stuff is coming up. And you're going to sit there and say, come on up. I ain't budging. I ain't budging. I want to know what's on the other side of that. Don't you? I don't want to keep that down there and be afraid it's going to come up. I want to know what's on the other side of that fire. And you will go through. And what will happen is you will never go down ever again for the rest of your life, unless you be stupid and close again. But you're now able to handle the strongest energy that could exist inside of you. So you're no longer afraid of anything anymore. You don't have a junk in there. You're not afraid of yourself. You're not afraid of anybody else because you can handle it. Now what happens, the Shakti changes direction. You don't realize it. Your energy goes down now because you're always pushing down. You're looking out. It's always a downward flow. When it makes it past that point, Ramana used to call it piercing the heart chakra. There's a literal thing. When you make it past that point, it changes direction. Literally, all of a sudden there's these waves of ecstasy pouring inside of you, going up, always going up, always going up, raising you, feeding you, love, joy, inspiration. Okay, nice stuff. And because it's so nice, if something happens that would tend to close it, you say, no, I ain't closing, ever. It's too beautiful. I'm willing to go through the challenge because the beauty is so... I'm willing to go through childbirth because I want to have the kid. How's that? And the result is you're giving birth to your soul. That's what's going on in this whole discussion we're having. And it's very similar. Breathe, relax, they teach you all that stuff. So just basically, you're willing to work on yourself to handle these emotions, to handle the vibration of energy. That energy, that's why I call it energy, is the same energy that the Bible calls the rush of holy waters. Is the same energy that is the rise of the Kundalini, right? It's the same energy, but that energy is blocked, and so it shoots out and gets all weird. But it's the same energy. Anger, violent anger, is overwhelming love and inspiration when nothing's blocking it. Okay? That's your journey. That's your challenge. Are you willing to work on yourself? And now you understand what that means. Are you willing to learn to handle the energies that come up inside of you instead of defending yourself, blaming everybody, carrying on like a maniac so it never happens again, right? You do this work inside. Very good. Thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.